Hello, my name is Jonathan Lucas. Tonight I will be showing you how to use Microsoft Visual Studio.net to dynamically place controls on a form using the Visual Basic language. I have Microsoft Visual Studio 2010 open on my desktop. I will go to File, New Project, and it will be a type Windows Form application. I'll just give it a name here. Let's say Dynamic Controls, and wait for it to load up. Okay, first off, the only control we will put on the page using the Visual Designer will be a tab control. And we'll go ahead and resize it so it fills up most of the page, and then delete the individual tabs and leave this blank tab control on the page. And since we'll be creating this dynamically at runtime, this isn't something that we can hard code into the form. And so first off, after we've done this, we will create a new class. And this class will inherit from the checkbox class, so we'll call it custom checkbox.vb. And we want to import system.windows.forms inherits checkbox. This will be pretty simple. We'll just make a new sub for it with a value for the name. And all this is going to do is instantiate this checkbox with the name. Now when you create an instance of this checkbox, it will not automatically show up on the form. And what we're going to do here is create another class which will inherit from the tab page. So we'll call this custom tab page just to keep with the naming convention. And again, this will inherit from, well, import rather, from system.windows.forms inherits tab page. Public sub new. We're going to pass in an argument to give this tab a name, and this name is what we will use to identify this on the control, so it won't just be a blank title up there. And then, just to show you, we can pass in any objects that we want to. I'm just going to put a generic object right here, and you can use this to create data bindings for the controls on your web page. You can use this for pretty much just about anything. You can create a structure that has all the properties that you want to have, like system.color or whichever data bindings. Once again, any events. This could also be an interface that you can pass in, so that this can be reusable with different classes. So this is going to be a actually, let me show you a pretty cool feature in Visual Studio 10, Visual Studio 10.net. I'm going to make a reference call to a method that doesn't exist. I'm going to pass in an argument, and as you can see, it shows the little squiggly line, but right here under error correction options, you can click and it'll tell you can either change it or generate a method stub. What that does, it just creates a blank method. The squiggly line goes away, and it'll throw a new not implemented exception if you don't do something about that. Let's give this a more meaningful name. By val num is integer. And what we're going to do with this tab page is initialize several checkboxes, several of our custom checkboxes. So first, what we're going to do is take care of the location of these text boxes, because if you didn't do anything about the location, then they would all just be piled on top of each other as integer. integer equals 10. So these are going to just be the starting location for the checkboxes. And I like to use variables or constants as much as possible, so you don't have to retype the same number over and over again. You can just use a descriptive word. So there's one line, that's the number of pixels that I'm going to put between each checkbox when I create them. So now I'm going to instantiate several checkboxes using the number that's been passed in for x as integer equals 1 to num. Okay, and with the location y, we're going to put all these checkboxes one on top of the other, one above another. So whenever we go loop through this, it's going to increment that location y. So now we're going to create an instance of the custom checkbox. See, it's showing up with the name. And so I'm going to put checkbox number and x. So the first one will be checkbox number 1, number 2, and so forth. ccb.location equals new system.drawing.point location x location y. And then a couple other things. I'm not sure. Well, it's just to make them compatible with the form, make them look nicer. Let's use auto size equals true, and then finally me.controls.add ccb. So this is going to put the custom checkbox onto the custom tab page that you're creating in the init combo box. And last of all, in the constructor, let's put me.text is equal to name. Okay, now we're done with the custom tab page. Let's go back to form, our form that we have here, and let's just put three of these tab pages on here. For x as integer equals 0, 2, 3. Well, that actually put 4. Now we'll make a new instance of a custom tab page during each of these iterations. Tab page, tab number, and x, and then we'll just make a new object just to have something for the custom tab page .new constructor. And once we make this custom tab page instance, in its constructor it will automatically make 3 checkboxes to go on each of the custom tab pages on itself. So all we need to do now, me.tabcontrol1.tabpages.add, and then the new instance of our tab page. So let's run this and see if it works. As you see here, we have tab number 0, 1, 2, and 3. We have these arrows, checkbox number 1 and 2, and the recording software is making the checkboxes a little bit sluggish in my debug mode, but as you can see, we have 4 tabs, numbers 0 through 3, and they all are populated with checkboxes. Once again, you can use this. You might be able to change around some of the values inside your custom tab page as you're initializing these checkboxes in order to make them more descriptive. But the possibilities here are quite big, because now you might be able to load from an XML file all the tabs and controls that you want using the same form, the same methods on the form, such as save and refresh and all that, to show your data. But now if you want to change your interface, you don't have to go in and rebuild the entire project. You can just do it dynamically, either from an XML file or inside the code. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I've really enjoyed making this. And if you have any comments, please leave them below, and I'll try and get back to you. Thanks.